Are you stuck in a job that feels like a dead end? You're not alone, but there's a powerful way out no one's talking about. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact steps to avoid dead-end jobs in America and how you can easily find work that actually aligns with your skills and passions. Plus, I'll review why now might be the perfect time to land a job that can set you up for long-term success, even if it feels like making it in America is impossible. But before we get into that, let me ask you this. What if the job you think is your door to success is actually the very thing holding you back? Let's say you get a job working construction, for example. Pays well enough and you feel like it's a good start. You spend your days doing tasks like laying bricks, painting walls, or installing drywall, for example. But after a few years, you realize nothing's really changed. You're still doing the same work while other people are getting promoted to supervisor or maybe like more skilled roles, for example. Why is that? Because the job isn't giving you new skills or certifications that would help you move up. Or in some cases, it might be something else, but you're stuck doing the same thing and it feels comfortable, but it's actually the very thing holding you back from growing. This example reflects what many immigrants experience in jobs like construction, farming, IT, where they can get stuck in positions that don't lead to better opportunities. It's like running on a treadmill. You'll be working very, very hard, but getting nowhere. So how do you avoid this? You need to learn how to spot the traps before they lock you in. And here are 5 ways that you can actually do that. First, spot golden handcuffs. This is when you're paid just enough to feel comfortable, but not enough to grow. You're trapped by a paycheck that keeps you from essentially seeking better opportunities. The second one is the false promise of stability. The job market changes very fast. If you're staying in a role just because it feels secure, you're setting yourself up for a rude awakening when that so-called stability disappears. The skill stagnation spiral. If your job isn't pushing you to learn new skills, you are falling behind. The longer you stay, the harder it becomes to move on. Fourth one is the culture of complacency. In some workplaces, mediocrity is the norm. If your colleagues aren't motivated, it's easy to fall into the same pattern of stagnation. And the last one is the invisible ceiling. Particularly for immigrants and minorities, you might find yourself in a job where there's an unspoken limit to how far you can advance. No matter how hard you work, the promotions never ever come. Now, you might be thinking, I can't just quit my job, I need to survive. And that's true, but staying in a dead-end job without a plan is just as dangerous, right? Like, how do you then break free from that trap? The first step is not quitting your job right away. That's obvious, but changing how you think about your career. If you don't, you will stay stuck in the same place year after year. You'll keep surviving but never thriving. And the worst part is time will pass and one day you look back and realize you've been stuck financially, professionally, personally. Most people are so focused on surviving that they forget about growth. They're thinking about the next paycheck, the next day, next task. It's all about making it through the week. But here's the problem. If you're constantly stuck in survival mode, you're not creating any space for improvement, for growth. You're doing just enough to get by, but not enough to get ahead. And over time, that comfort turns into a trap that becomes harder and harder to escape. But here's the solution. If you want to break free from dead-end jobs, it starts with changing how you think about your career. You need to shift from a survival mindset to a growth mindset. Embrace discomfort, right? Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. If you're not feeling challenged or slightly uncomfortable in the job that you're doing now, you are not growing. A simple way to know that is you can identify one task or responsibility at work that scares you and start small. Volunteer for it, for example. The second thing is you need to invest in yourself. Your skills are your most valuable asset. Treat them like an investment portfolio. Diversify and grow them constantly. A good way to do that is just to commit to learning one new skill every quarter, for example. Whether it's through online courses, books, or workshops, it doesn't matter. Think long-term as well. Stop making career decisions based on short-term comfort. Start thinking about where you want to be in 5, 10 years and make moves accordingly, right? Like write down your 5-year career goal. Now, work backwards and identify the steps you need to take, essentially, to get there. You can cultivate a network, not just contacts. In America, who you know can be just as important as what you know. But it's not about collecting business cards. It's about building genuine relationships. Reach out to one person in your industry you admire every single month. Ask for a 15-minute coffee chat or virtual meeting or whatever, right? Like embrace unique perspectives. As an immigrant or career changer, you bring a unique viewpoint to any job. This is your superpower. Learn to leverage it. List 3 unique experiences or perspectives you had. Think about how these can actually add value in your current or desired role. The key is to start small. You don't have to transform your entire life overnight. Even dedicating just 30 minutes a day to your growth can make a massive difference over time. But mindset alone isn't enough. You need practical strategies to identify and pursue better opportunities. If you don't take action, you stay stuck in the same role for years, watching others around you move ahead. You'll miss out on opportunities, and the longer you wait, the harder it will become for you to catch up to them. Your job will become your prison, and your potential will go to waste. The biggest mistake people make is assuming that their current job will naturally lead to something better. But the truth is, it won't. Not unless you actively make moves to grow beyond it. If you don't take control of your career, no one else will. You can't wait for promotions that may never come or hope that your company will suddenly value your skills more. You need to start planning your escape, essentially, because the longer you wait, the more trapped you will become. So how do you break free? By taking action. And it starts with evaluating where you are now and where you want to go. Here's how to do it. Conduct a job audit, like take a hard look at your current role, right? Like be honest with yourself. Are you learning new skills? Is there room for growth? If not, it's time to plan your exit. You can identify high growth industries, essentially. Don't waste time in a shrinking industry. Look for sectors that are expanding and offering real opportunities for advancement. Develop a skills gap analysis. Figure out the skills you're missing and create a plan to develop them. This will help you target jobs that offer real growth potential. Leverage the hidden job market. Most jobs aren't advertised. Start networking and building relationships in industries where you want to work. But what if there's something stopping you from actually putting that plan into action? In fact, there are still some invisible walls that can keep you trapped in a dead-end job, and if you don't break through them, you remain stuck, even if you have the skills and the opportunities show. Imposter syndrome, fear of failure, the I don't have the time excuse, these are mental blocks that can keep you from moving forward. They make you doubt yourself, hold back, and settle for less than what you deserve. And the sad part is these barriers are very subtle. They're the thoughts that tell you you're not good enough, it's too late to start over, or you don't have time to learn something new. If you don't tackle these head on, they'll sabotage every effort you make to escape your dead-end job. But here's the good news. These mindset barriers are powerful, but they're not impossible to overcome. Once you recognize them for what they are, you can bypass them and open yourself up for new opportunities. Here's how. Imposter syndrome. This is the feeling that you are not qualified for better opportunities, even when you are. It's especially common amongst immigrants and career changers. How to overcome that? Keep a wins journal, document your accomplishments. Seek feedback from colleagues and mentors. Remember that everyone feels like this sometimes. A good thing that you can do is write down 3 of your biggest professional accomplishments or accomplishments in any area of your life. Review them whenever you feel like, imposter syndrome is creeping in. The fear of failure can keep you stuck, your comfort zone, an unfulfilling job for your entire lifetime. Here's how to essentially overcome that. Reframe failure as learning opportunity. Set small, achievable goals to build confidence, and then visualize process and practice positive self-talk. I'm not talking about the pumping up, chest puffing up, hitting your chest, but more like making the right decisions in a positive manner that will impact your future later. Identify one professional risk, for example, that you've been avoiding. Make a plan to tackle it within the next 30 days. I don't have time excuse. It's an easy one to feel because nowadays we feel like we're busy all the time, working long hours, especially if you have a hard job. Here's how to overcome it. Audit the amount of time that you're really spending on things, right? Like make sure that you look on your phone. Like how much time are you spending on screen? Use techniques like, hey, I'm going to work from this time to this time first thing in the morning before I do anything else. Make sure that you prioritize the career development as non-negotiables. An actionable step here would be maybe block 30 minutes each day for career development activities. Treat it like any other very important appointment that you have. I'm too young or too old mindset, right? Age is often used as an excuse to stay exactly where you are. Whether you feel like you're too old to start over or too young to make big moves. How can you actually overcome that? Focus on your unique value proposition, not your age, right? Seek out role models who made career changes at various ages. Embrace lifelong learning as a mindset. For example, find out someone, that is successful, that changed careers that are age similar to yours, and model what they done. Ask their advice or inspiration. You can also, have this scarcity mindset creeping in. When you're focused on just getting by, it's hard to think about growth. This scarcity mindset can keep you trapped in survival mode. How to overcome that? Practice gratitude for what you've been working on. Right? Like, simply take fault for everything. Like, assume that everything is your fault. Therefore, you empower yourself to be able to change things. So focus on abundance, not just the money. Invest in yourself as a long-term strategy. A good actionable step here would be start a day with gratitude. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Not woo-woo stuff. I don't believe that in that personally. If you do it, whatever works for you, but more in regards of things that you're going to do today that you're grateful that you can actually do them. These mindset barriers, sometimes they can feel overwhelming, but remember, your mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. By overcoming these mental blocks, you're opening yourself up for a world of opportunities beyond dead-end jobs, right? And the thing is, we're not done yet, because there's one more crucial step to ensuring long-term success in your career journey. If you don't build mental toughness, every setback you encounter will knock you down. And without the strength to bounce back, you end up stuck in the same place, unable to recover. Or worse, you might give up entirely, staying in a dead-end job for the rest of your life because you convinced yourself that's the best thing you can do. The reality is, escaping a dead-end job isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. And along the way, you're going to face setbacks, job rejections, failed projects, missed opportunities. If you don't have the resilience to push through those challenges, you'll find yourself trapped again and again and again and again. And here's the thing, the job market is constantly evolving. Industries shift, and what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. And as a matter of fact, it won't work tomorrow. You're going to face obstacles that could make you question your entire career path. Without mental toughness, these obstacles will feel like permanent roadblocks instead of temporary challenges. But mental toughness isn't just about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward. It's about using every experience, good or bad, as a stepping stone to something better. And when you build that, setbacks don't stop you, they push you forward. Here's what you need to do. Develop this mental toughness mindset, embracing challenges as opportunities to learn. Every setback is a chance to improve. View your failures as temporary and something you can actually overcome. Build a supporting network as well. Surround yourself with people that do the same thing. They're ambitious, people who believe in your potential and can lift you when things get tough. Right? Practice self-talk. Taking care of you physically and mentally is crucial for long-term success in your career. Make time to exercise, to meditate, to engage in hobbies, whatever you believe in. Set realistic expectations. Career growth doesn't happen tomorrow or overnight. Celebrate small wins and keep your eyes on the long-term goal. Each step forward counts. Stay accountable. The job market changes quickly. Stay curious, be willing to evolve your skills, and adjust your goals as needed. And let me share a personal story with you. A couple of years ago, I faced a significant setback in my life when I was laid off from an event production job I had. It might not seem like much, but it was everything I had at the time. And it felt like the end of the world for me because, I don't know, but it was this very setback that pushed me to finally look for better opportunities elsewhere in my life. That experience taught me a valuable lesson. Mental toughness and resilience isn't just a nice to have quality. It's essential for anyone who wants to build a thriving career in America, especially if you are an immigrant or someone trying to change careers. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. But the most important takeaway is this: your career is in your hands. No matter where you started or where you're right now, you have the power to shape your professional future. You now have the tools to escape dead-end jobs, but there's one more thing that can hold you back, and those are the myths about job hunting. If you don't recognize them, you could waste years chasing the wrong opportunities. So in this video, I'll review and debunk the biggest job hunting myths that every immigrant believes, which could be the reason stopping you from living the life you want here in America.